The Falcon and the Winter Soldier finale has just released on Disney Plus, and I've had a chance to watch the final episode, which includes plenty of Captain America action, a post-credit scene, and more to break down. In particular, I'm going to be explaining the plot and ending for episode 6 of the Marvel show, entitled One World, One People, in the aim to help you guys gather a greater sense of what happened. This analysis will also contain spoilers, so if you do happen to be someone who hasn't watched the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, then I would recommend watching this video after you've caught up. If you want to see more videos on all of the Disney Plus Marvel shows, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoy this video, remember to give it a like rating. But without further ado, let's dive into the plot and ending explained for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So after 6 weeks, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier has finally reached its conclusion, with Sam and Bucky taking on the Flag Smashers, along with ex-Captain America John Walker in a packed episode. Episode 6 is almost all action for a majority of the scenes, and it begins where episode 5 left off, with the Flag Smashers attacking the GRC summit in their quest to smash all borders. Their efforts are swiftly put to rest with the arrival of Sam Wilson as Captain America, wearing the stars and stripes in a brand new costume, and of course he's kept the wings. Sam doesn't beat the Flag Smashers alone though, as he's assisted along the way by Bucky, Sharon Carter, though she's eventually revealed as the mysterious power broker, and even surprisingly, John Walker, who comes around to his senses and helps fight the good fight. Although it's key to point out that the serum he took could still be affecting him, as we see in numerous points throughout this episode that the character seems to be acting odd when he's in the heat of the battle and needs to make important decisions. This could just be over-exaggerating on the loss of Lamar and how this impacts him, but we'll just have to see. But with Carly Morgenthau and the Flag Smashers defeated, Sam reveals himself as Captain America to the world, broadcasting his appeal to the GRC members to reconsider their approach. We later learn that his words inspire them to have a change of heart. He echoes what Isaiah Bradley told him in the previous episodes, and we learn that it's now time for the Black Captain America to help solve world problems as we go forward. But in the aftermath of all of the events in this battle-heavy finale episode, we see Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes enjoying a barbecue with family and friends in Louisiana, something that jokingly reminds me of Dom and friends in the Fast and Furious franchise. It's a happy ending, made all the happier by the final image we see before the credits, and in particular, the usual The Falcon and the Winter Soldier title treatment changes, revealing the show's true name and potential sequel, entitled Captain America and the Winter Soldier. The other question you may have surrounding the ending is whether Falcon and the Winter Soldier has a post-credit scene. Well, yes, it did, and in the final scene of the series, Sharon Carter receives her full pardon, just as Sam promised. But was this a mistake? It sure looks like it, as Sharon is revealed to the audience as the true force behind the power broker. As she returns to the light of day in this post-credit scene, newly pardoned as Agent Carter, Sharon hops on a phone with an unseen force and tells them to start lining up buyers. Super soldiers are off the menu, she warns, but with access to so much classified intelligence, there should be something for everyone. I guess this is to be continued for now, but I do think they could have handled her character in a different way, and in the end, it was one of the more disappointing elements of the show. I will be going into this in more detail with my video essay in a few days, so look out for that upload. But now it's time to discuss what happened to all the characters in this finale, and we start with Sam Wilson. Well, aside from the fact that he's the new Captain America, Sam wields the shield, and he does it in a way that separates him from his predecessor. He uses his jetpack to give him additional force, and he uses the full extent of his wingsuit to offer further protection for not only himself, but others. He's not a fighter, and instead, he's more of a defender, which I guess is slightly hypocritical considering he killed numerous side villains in the opening scene of the show, but I guess we've moved on. Getting back to the events of this episode, with an impassioned plea to those watching around the world to do better, we learn that Sam is certainly doing his part in paving the way for a new Captain America legacy, beginning with his battle against the Flag Smashers, extending to his advocacy for Isaiah Bradley's legacy, and wide open for who knows what else is next. When he goes to see Isaiah's grandson lurks behind doors in an out-of-focus area, suggesting that he could be important in the future also. Possibly a young Avenger, may I suggest. Anyway, Sam's really here to talk to Isaiah, who seems to think it's fine that Sam is Captain America now. Sam has managed to give him a slot in the Smithsonian exhibition about Steve Rogers as well, which is rather nice. Surprising the US government let him depict their horrible crimes so openly, but hey, he does seem to be able to push powerful politicians around pretty easily. Now they'll never forget what you did for this country, Sam tells him. And when it comes to the other lead of this show, aka the Winter Soldier, the character gets in on the action in this finale, but the most important beats are what happens next. When the dust settles, Bucky resumes his mission to make amends for his brainwashed assassin days, and finally goes and tells his friend that he killed his son, which may be a comfort in the long run. With that, Bucky seems to have crossed all the people he's wronged off his list, but he's also back on the outside looking in. After crossing all the names off his book, Bucky thanks his therapist, then starts living a little life alongside Sam and his family in Louisiana. It would have been nice to have seen more of this, but I guess they did round out his story pretty well. John Walker also hits the fight in this episode with all the enthusiasm one normally expects from the government's temporary Captain America, but he quickly changes gears. Given a chance to kill Carly and avenge Lamar, or save a bunch of hostages, Walker opts for the latter option. Teaming up with Sam and Bucky, Walker seemingly has walked back into the light, though he may still have a dark future, now that he's working for the Contessa under a new codename with a new uniform, the US Agent, exactly as he is in the comics. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, showing up again in the finale, makes her second Marvel appearance following her Falcon and Winter Soldier debut in episode 5. It's a brief scene, one where she hooks Walker up with the US agent identity and reminds Walker to wait for her call and to stop calling her Val. Where is this going to go next? Again, it's another instance of stay tuned. And moving on to the Flag Smashers, well, it would appear they are all dead. Sharon Carter kills Carly Morgenthau, and the rest of them are placed under arrest. When they are nearly smuggled into hiding by a corrupt officer, they are swiftly killed in a car bomb ordered by an old enemy turned sometimes ally. But their message may live on. Sam warns that the Flag Smashers were well supported around the world, and if people aren't careful, a new version could emerge. What will rise from the Flag Smashers? That again is a question to be answered, and maybe in a potential second season. As a side note, there is also a brief appearance of Baron Zemo in this season finale, and we revisit the character locked away behind bars at the raft. He hears a broadcast about the death of the Flag Smashers and appears self-satisfied. So it's pretty clear that he pulled the trigger, if not literally, and perhaps even with the backing of a certain Contessa. If Zemo still has this much influence from prison, who knows what he might do next? Dance his way out? Well, anything's possible. The only other character we get a brief look at is Sam's friend and occasional colleague, Joaquin Torres, for about 5 seconds. We see him watching Captain America's broadcast to the world, but what we don't see is whether Joaquin is so inspired by his friend that he picks up the wingsuit for a flight of his own. In the comics, Joaquin becomes the new Falcon, and are we about to see that in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Again, we'll have to see, but it looks likely down the line that Marvel will be sticking to the comics in making this happen. But that was my brief breakdown video explaining the plot and ending for episode 6 of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Overall, I really did enjoy this episode, and although there were certain plot points that were unravelled to a less than satisfying way, and many of them I should note, I think they did end on a strength of focusing on the mantle of Captain America. It will be intriguing to see how they continue Sam's character going forward, alongside the potential for a second season, but for now, they did pull off this transition to a fair degree. In the end, the Marvel show was one of two sides, one which had the potential to discuss intriguing elements and motivations, doing a few of these well, but one which also uses other elements to set up future projects, which, to be honest, I think they did a bit too much of, especially with a season of really compelling themes and talking points. This is something I'm going to be discussing more of in my video essay in a few days, where I will be giving you my extended thoughts on the entire season of the show. But this episode was a decent ending overall, and it definitely has me interested to see what comes next. I'm giving the finale of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier a 7.75 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed my breakdown and brief review, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the new Marvel show, which is currently scheduled to be Loki. I'm also intrigued to hear all of your thoughts on this final episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, so let me know down below in the comment section. For more content on all the upcoming Marvel shows, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.